HCC MovieMakers Academy with the movie reviews. My name is Melissa Miles.
And I'm Soroosh Mehdi. And we just saw Spare Parts.
They need protection. They're kids. They're not adults. Every day they are told that they are worthless, that they are beyond hope. Are you really going to see this thing through?
Last year's winner was MIT.
Probably have access to a lot more money than you do.
I told you that anything could be yours. I don't think I was right.
A kid who works hard his whole life should have your whole world open to you.
I have to take that chance. We're not gonna give up.
Spare Parts.
Spare Parts is about 4 Hispanic high school students who get together and they form a robotics club, and they, with $800 and basically used spare car parts, they put together and they build a robot that can pretty much go underwater and do all this cool stuff, I guess, little commands, lift things, pull things out. And what they do is they actually they enter a contest to and they actually go up against the country's reigning champions, MIT, and they win by a long shot. But yeah, it basically stars George Lopez, Jamie Lee Curtis, Marissa Tomei, and we are now introducing Carlos Peña Vega.
In the movie, it is really about the illegal immigrants, how they have to struggle in school. Oscar, the main character, wants to enter in the army, and he cannot really go through the application process because he doesn't have the birth certificate here in America. So he enters this competition, and he will meet Mr. Cameron, who was an old engineer, now taking this position that he actually doesn't want to. So how do they, work with each other?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a struggle. At first they're very skeptical of, how this situation of theirs is going to end up, because at first we see George Lopez's character, being the teacher, as you said before, that he's not the teacher type, to himself, because, he was an engineer before, and he feels like he doesn't really belong in that school, and he doesn't think he can teach anything to these kids. But when he meets Oscar Vasquez, Carlos Peña Vega's character, he sees this spark in him, and this thing that no one that he hasn't seen in anybody else. So he gives it a chance, and they all they both start to recruit other students. They get the smart kid, they get the tech savvy kid, and then we get the strong arm guy student that protects the smart kids. Anyway.
Right. And one of them is Lorenzo, and he's like the mechanic in the whole group, but he's also a problem kid. So in the movie, you see a lot about his difficulties in his private life, as well as in fitting in the group and with his whole life, basically. And this is also where the teacher tries to help him, goes to his house, tries to talk to the father, tries to talk to the director from the school, to a lot of people. And it's really nice to see that if somebody is in a situation here in the States and is an illegal immigrant, and maybe it's not even your fault, maybe your parents brought you and you just grow up like that there are people who want to help you. Like in this movie, right? The teacher wanted to help him. People at the competition at the end, they were so proud of them. And it's based on a true story, so that's nice. It's really it worked out well for them at the end.
Yeah, it's a true underdog story because they start out, they're a ragtag team. You know, they have no experience whatsoever. They've never done this before. It's their first time, and it was really inspiring because in the end of the movie, or during their competition sequences, they actually start to receive a lot of respect from the higher, more experienced teams from other universities, and they were at the college level. And we're talking about 4 high school students who are not at college level going up against college teams, and MIT, Stanford, all these, alma mater. We're talking Ivy League,
Right. And
really experienced teams.
They had a lot of money, and they didn't. So, so the high school student, they didn't had all this money, and this is where the creativity came in. And I think also that is one of the parts that the movie wants to teach us, that even you don't have enough money, you think you always can make up something, you can create something. It's all about, if you want something, you can get it. So this is, I think, what the movie is teaching us. If you really want something, go for it, do it. And people are there to help you, and you will pursue it, and you will hopefully get it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the acting. How did you like the acting from the characters?
The acting, again, George Lopez, he's supposed to be known as he's a well-known comedian. His acting in feature films, I don't know. I feel like he's trying to be too much of himself from his own show that he had earlier on. But in this movie, he went into a pretty more serious role. So I'm thinking, I give him a heads up to that. I do. I think he pulled it off in this one. I think he did.
I have to say that the students were so good in playing, especially, let me see who played Oscar. Carlos Pinavega and the other one, Jose Julian. They played so well that his acting it wasn't that good, in my opinion. So I think that these two, they played their characters so well that I really thought they are these kids. Like, the one was a problem kid who really had like the body position from somebody, like always the head down and like, oh, I'm not gonna get anything. And it was really, he also makes this noise from time to time, like the people do, like this, I'm just exhausted from this life. And Oscar was always standing up, straight, and he was this type of like, I want to go to the army, this is my dream, I will go and get it. And I think they played that really well.
He was resilient. Yeah. But I think you said before that Lorenzo was the troubled kid. I mean, he was troubled only because of the fact that his younger brother was actually born in the United States, and he was left with, by his father, was left with the responsibility of taking care of his little brother, no matter how much trouble his little brother got into, and he got into a lot of trouble. Lorenzo took the heat for it. So I think, one of the reasons why George Lopez's character, as the teacher, went to go see Lorenzo's father was because he was trying to explain to him that when George was younger, or when his character was younger, he told the father that it was the kid, the family member with papers, the one actually that was legal in the country, was supposed to take care of the rest of the family.
Right.
In this case, it was the other way around. The father was making the older brother who wasn't legal to take care of the younger brother who was. So if we're talking about trouble, we're looking at Lorenzo having trouble being able to communicate with his father, and that's the reason why he got his teacher, Freddie Cameron, George Lopez, to go and kind of talk his father into understanding his side of it.
Right, yeah, I think there's a lot of trouble going on. However, Jamie Lee Curtis, she was really funny as a director, right? She was funny.
As the principal of the school, yes. She was, she had a very small part, though.
But she did it well. I laughed at her
really
moments.
well, yeah.
I had really to laugh when she actually like she was talking to one student and telling him how he did everything wrong, and she was punishing him. And the new teacher came in, and he just saw that, and he was like, oh, this is what you do to new students. And then she closed the door, and she was like, I know it's mean, but it's my favorite part of my job. So
yeah, I remember.
And how she said that, it was just.
It was funny because
it was funny.
It was, at the same time she was dumping him on George Lopez's character too. So.
What would you give the movie?
You know, to be honest, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this movie, since it's based on a true story, and I like those too, I would give it overall, as an inspiring movie, I would give it about a 9. It's
A 9?
really good. I would suggest watching this movie. A 9 is pretty good. Based on.
I'm not so nice. I have to say, I also like that it's based on a true story. I think the story in general is really good. And it's inspiring. I went out there and I was like, wow, yeah, I'm gonna go get it. But now I don't really think about the movie anymore, about the acting, so I would give it like a 6. We love films. If you love films, then check our website, www.hccs.edu.
You can also catch us on YouTube at HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. And join us once more for more upcoming movie reviews that we're going to film.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.